In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace this transmission mount on this Volkswagen Beetle. It's located on the driver's side right above the transmission. Let's get into it. Now pop this battery cover up. There should be a clip right there. Just squeeze that. Using a 10mm wrench, we're going to disconnect the negative side first. Loosen up the nut. And that's loose. Grab the terminal and slide it to the side, out of the way. Now we can do the same on the positive side. Loosen up the nut with the same 10mm wrench. Wiggle it, slide that to the side. To make it easier to slide the battery out a little bit, I'm going to remove this reservoir. Just take this 10mm socket, take this bolt out. Pull that out. That can move to the side a little. Then the battery hold down is down here. Take a 13mm socket, take this battery hold down off. Just pull the bolt out. Grab the bolt. Pull that out. Now the battery's loose. You can tip the battery up and slide it out. We're going to take this bolt out right here, use a 10mm socket. Take that one out. And you pull this cover off. Now I'm taking a trim tool and just in the front here, pop that off there. And then on the back, there's another one of those. There we go, just pry that off. And it slides right out. Now I'll disconnect the connector here. Just pull in on the tab and disconnect the hose here. Push down on the two tabs, it slides off, and using hose clamp pliers, squeeze that, and slide the snorkel off, just like that. There's a couple screws right here and there. I'm going to take those off. Just using a Phillips head screwdriver, take that off. You can take the cover off, just like that. Take the air filter out. And there's a bushing right there. You can pop it off the bushing. There should be one down here. This one does not have one there. And then this slides out. If you need to, you could take the bolts out if it doesn't slide off the bushing correctly. Just use a 10mm socket. Take those out. Underneath the oil pan on the transmission, we're just going to put a block of wood and support it with a floor jack. Just light tension, just to take the tension off the mount. Now we'll take these two bolts out. I'm going to use an 18mm socket. Take those out. There's a cover right here. We just want to get underneath here. Just use a straight blade screwdriver. Just pry that out. That comes off. Then this piece, we want to pull this up. There's a couple clips right there, there and there. Just unclip it, and then it unclips down below. Slide that off. There's a bolt right here. You're going to have to grab this wiring harness and pull up. There is a little tab that's secured down there. And then use a 13mm socket. Take this bolt out. Be careful near the wiring harness. You don't want to chafe the harness. Take that bolt out. And then the 2 bolts on the side, we're going to use a 16mm socket. Take those out. And then there is a hole in here. If you pull the wiring harness aside, you can go through the bracket, through the plastic to get to that bolt. Might be easier to put the socket underneath. And pull those bolts out. For this to slide out, I am going to have to lower the transmission a little bit. So with the floor jack, just drop it down. Just be very careful. Go slow. Just a little bit. A little bit more. And that slides right out. Take the mount. Line it up. With it all lined up, then we can raise the transmission. Get the bolts to line, bolt holes to line up. Just get it close. And get these bolts started. And the mount bolts that go into the body. And put that smaller bolt that's going to go right there. Make sure that's all lined up, and we'll tighten that one down first. Tighten it down. Now tighten down the other ones. And with these lined up properly, just tighten these down. If you need to, you can use a pry bar. You can almost see where the mount was lined up before, so you kind of want to get it close to that. And take a screwdriver in here, just pry it forward just slightly. Snug that down. That's good. Now I can lower the floor jack and pull it out. Now take this cover, lock that in place there, and then fold it down. Make sure the wires are out of the way. Lock it in place. This upper cover is going to go on. There we go. Put that on. Now take the lower air box, line that up. Get that in there. You put that grommet on top, and then if you took the bolt out down below, put that in. Put the air filter in. And the top part of the air box. Line this up. Push it down. We have this clamp that's got to go on here. So I'm just going to have to spread this first, just with some channel lock pliers. And I'll just use some hose clamp pliers and put this back on. That's good. Now I'm going to use the Phillips head screwdriver and tighten down the screws for the top part of the airbox. snug those down. There should be another one right here. Snug that down. Plug this hose in, lock it down. And the wire for the mass airflow sensor. Pull that up, line that up, lock it down. We're going to put this side cover on. It may be easier for you to slide the battery in at this point. Now we're going to slide the battery in. We did take the battery out before taking the cover off, but it's going to be a little easier to slide the battery in first. Just get the connectors out of the way. You can connect the positive terminal. We'll just set it aside for now. Then we want to get that cover on. Take the cover. Slide the cover down. Push it in. Push the bushings on. Same within the front. Onto the stud. And take the bolt, it's going to go down here. And tighten this down. Take the power steering reservoir, line this up. Take that bolt, get that started, and tighten that down. Now take the battery hold down, slide this in position. There we go. Get that to line up. Get the bolt started, and we'll tighten it down. Tighten that down. Battery's snug. Now using a 10mm wrench, tighten down the positive first. Make sure it's snug. That's good. And take the negative. Get that started. And we'll tighten that down. And snug, give it a wiggle, make sure it's tight, and close the lid.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.